Our deal is we'll leave our masks on until we speak, and then when we finish, we'll put them back on, and then maybe take them off at the end for one photo. Is that right? Does that work? Good morning. Before I begin, I want to acknowledge that today is Gun Violence Awareness Day, and in solidarity with all of the victims of gun violence and the surviving families of those who we have lost, we're all wearing a little orange. And to them, we commit that New Jersey will continue to be a leader in the national fight to end senseless gun violence. Today, it is my, and I should say as well, our, with the Lieutenant Governor with me, my partner in leading this state, it is our distinct honor to announce our intention to nominate Fabiana Pierre-Louis, to my right, to serve as an Associate Justice of the New Jersey Supreme Court. And I want to pause for a moment to recognize the family members who are with us. It turns out for Fabiana, like the rest of us, it takes a village. And she's got an extraordinary family, starting with Fabiana's husband. Where's Robert? There we are in the back there. Robert Reeves and sons, Robbie and Mark, were the boys in the back, ages 7 and 4. Fabiana's parents, Joseph and Claire Pierre-Louis. God bless you both, Mom and Dad. Her sister, Veronique. Nice to have you with us, Veronique. And your significant other, Randy. Where's Randy? He's here somewhere. He's taking pictures in the back. Her brother, Irving Saget. Irving, where are you? Nice to see you. And sister-in-law, Enid. And their daughter, Fabiana's niece, Alyssa. Hello, Alyssa. A great family. Just had the opportunity to meet a few minutes ago. Today, I will submit Fabiana's name to the New Jersey State Bar Association's Judicial and Prosecutorial Appointments Committee, and I look forward to their review and, upon their approval, to Fabiana's formal nomination. Upon confirmation by the State Senate, Fabiana would be the first black woman to serve on our state's highest court, and only its third black jurist, and I might add, the first in a decade. I intend for Fabiana to assume the seat of Associate Justice Walter Timpone, who will reach the mandatory retirement age of 70 this November. But Fabiana would also assume the seat of former Justice John Wallace, our state's second African-American justice, for whom she clerked and who became one of her mentors as she embarked on her own legal career, and who remains a mentor to this day. And I am particularly honored that Justice Wallace is with us today. Honored to have you, sir. Before I get to Fabiana's enormous qualifications, I want to make it clear where my values and that of our administration stand with regard to our justice system, and in particular, the Supreme Court. First, our Supreme Court must be independent. One of the hallmarks of our state's judicial system, and one of the reasons why for the past 73 years it has been held up as a national model for excellence, has been the recognition by the overwhelming number of past governors on both sides of the aisle of the importance of the Supreme Court's independence. This independence has allowed our court to issue numerous landmark decisions that have protected and guaranteed the rights of our most vulnerable residents. These decisions have been studied and emulated across the country. And precisely because of its independence, even in times when we may quibble with the court's conclusions, we can have no argument with the way in which those decisions are made. 10 years ago, when Justice Wallace, a justice widely recognized for his fair-minded decision-making, was denied tenure, that independence was threatened. This administration is committed to returning the court to its rightful place, independent of politics, where decisions are made based on what is right rather than what is popular or what is needed to secure renomination and tenure from any particular governor. That is why I was proud to restore the tradition of removing politics from this process when I renominated Associate Justice Ann Patterson for tenure in 2018, a tradition I hope will once again endure through future Republican and Democratic administrations. Second, our courts must reflect our state in all of its great diversity. It wasn't until 1994, 218 years since our state's founding and 47 years after our current Constitution took effect, that Associate Justice James Coleman took his seat as the court's first black jurist. It took only 16 years when Justice Wallace was removed before the African American experience and perspective was again absent. Justice cannot be blind if those who sit on our highest and most powerful bench are not surrounded by the colleagues who encompass the full range of the American experience, whether it be racially or generationally or both. And so today we are making a powerful statement of where and how these values guide us. Fabiana brings with her a sharp legal mind and a perspective which will be greatly beneficial to the proceedings of our Supreme Court. Her parents, Joseph and Claire, came to this country from Haiti. For the same reason, generations of immigrants have looked to our shores to make a better life for themselves and for their children to be able to live the American dream. Raised largely in Irvington, Fabiana received her bachelor's degree from Rutgers University, New Brunswick, and then proceeded to graduate from Rutgers Law School, Camden, with high honors. I think it's entirely appropriate for me to say, RU. Fabiana currently is a partner in the Cherry Hill office of Montgomery, McCracken, Walker, and Rhodes, where she worked as an associate in her first 3 years out of law school until 2010, and where she returned to last year. However, during the 9 years in between stints there, Fabiana served with distinction in the United States Attorney's Office for the District of New Jersey. Over those 9 years, she would work in each of the district's 3 offices, in Newark, Trenton, and Camden. With practically every step, she broke new ground. In 2016, she was appointed attorney in charge of the Trenton office, the first woman of color to ever hold that position. In 2018, she was appointed attorney in charge of the Camden office, again, the first woman of color to hold that position. In addition to overseeing the work of the attorneys in Trenton and Camden, Fabiana investigated and prosecuted her own cases, including those dealing with public corruption, defense contracting fraud and national security, narcotics offenses, child sexual exploitation, and allegations of racial bias by law enforcement. And in Trenton, she played a central role in the creation of the Trenton Reentry Court, which provides additional assistance to recently released federal offenders to further aid their reentry into society. Among her many affiliations, Fabiana is a board member of the Rutgers Law School Camden Alumni Association and a trustee with the Association of the Federal Bar of New Jersey. She is a prior board member of the Haitian American Lawyers Association of New Jersey and a member of the Garden State Bar Association and the Association of Black Women Lawyers of New Jersey, among others. We have selected Fabiana after an extensive and exhaustive process. She has earned unanimous support and respect from her peers, from her colleagues, from our judicial advisory panel, and importantly, from the trailblazers who made today possible. She has been described glowingly as both, and I'm quoting, superstar, and I quote again, a unique blend of intellect and humility. To a person, everyone with whom I or my team talked to about Fabiana spoke about her humanity, her empathy, and her character. They spoke about the kind of person she is, the kind of person who always seeks to serve others and always carries with her the pride and perspective of her own past. There is simply no better set of traits that I could hope for in a nominee, and I know Sheila joins me, especially one who has the potential to serve our residents for a generation, ensuring that the perspectives of those who our laws and courts too often ignore are given a voice on the most prominent court in our state. I have not chosen Fabiana because of the current national discussion around race and systemic bias that is unfolding before our very eyes and in our very streets. In fact, anyone who knows how these processes work knows that they begin many months, if not years, before an announcement is made. And I want to give a particular shout out to our Chief Counsel, Matt Plotkin, who indeed started this process years ago. However, given the challenges which are being brought to the forefront of our society and the questions which will undoubtedly rise to reach our Supreme Court, core issues of socioeconomic equality and equity, there is no better meeting of an individual and the times. And with that, before we bring up Fabiana, I would like to invite my partner in government, one of those trailblazers who I've referred to, who's doing it every day, day in and day out. I don't know where we'd be without her. Please help me welcome the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of New Jersey, Sheila Oliver.
Good morning, everyone. You know, with everything that's going on in the world around us, I have had no reason to smile recently. However, today, I cannot stop smiling. Across the country, there are 33 states which do not have a woman of color on their highest court. Sadly, New Jersey, for all of our professed progressive values, has stood among those 33. I cannot wait to see us leave that list with Fabiana's confirmation to the New Jersey Supreme Court. This is an unprecedented time in our state and our nation as well. The pain of years of systemic racism is finally being addressed. Long-simmering concerns of inequality can no longer be ignored. And we will have a justice on our Supreme Court whose lived experience will educate her peers on the bench of our highest court as they grapple with these issues. Fabiana is proof that the American dream lives. It is the fulfillment of the dream of every parent who came to this country and this state knowing that this is where their children can succeed. She is proof of what is possible when one does not limit themselves to what others think they can do because of their station in life, but what they themselves know they can do. And Fabiana has proved that thus far in her career. You know, I have been called a trailblazer, and today, trust me, I am proud to pass that baton to you, Fabiana. Time is not just, this is not just a welcome change on the court because of her being a Black woman, but also because of her being a member of the next generation of leadership in this state. Leaders who do not want to wait to leave their mark, and leaders who we should not wait to see make their mark. One of the great presidents of our country, John F. Kennedy, he was a very eloquent writer and speaker. And John Kennedy once said, "It is time for a new generation of leadership to cope with new problems and to seek new opportunities, for there is a new world to be won." Fabiana represents that new world. When I speak to women across the state, I often note that while I may be considered one who broke through a glass ceiling, I often say that there are still many women left in the basement sweeping up the glass. Today, there is more glass on the floor, but there is also one less woman to sweep it up. When I took the oath of Lieutenant Governor as the first Black woman to hold statewide office in New Jersey, I said the following: while these moments are historic, we make history not in the moment, but in what we do with it. Fabiana, I cannot wait to see what you will do with your moment and how you bring your perspective to the court to serve the 9 million people who will look to you for justice. Congratulations.
Well said, Sheila. So well said, Sheila, and thank you not just for today, but for every day. And you are indeed a trailblazer, let there be no doubt. I've said enough. I'm just looking at your mom and dad, Fabiana, and think about the story of your family. They're coming to America all the way to this moment today. You have lived the American dream, and we are living a chapter of that dream with you. So it gives me great pride and great honor to introduce to you the next Associate Justice of the New Jersey Supreme Court, Fabiana Pierre-Louis.
Good morning. Thank you, Governor Murphy, for that wonderful introduction, and thank you for this extraordinary honor in nominating me to the Supreme Court of New Jersey. And thank you to Lieutenant Governor Oliver for your kind words. I would also like to thank the governor's staff, Chief Counsel, Chief of Staff, former Chief Justice James Zazzali, and all the members of the governor's Judiciary Advisory Panel for their support. I very much look forward to meeting with the State Bar's Judicial and Prosecutorial Appointments Committee, as well as Senate President Sweeney, Judiciary Chairman Scutari, and the other members of the Senate as part of the confirmation process. Words truly cannot express what a tremendous honor it is for me to be nominated to the Supreme Court of New Jersey. After graduating from Rutgers Law School in Camden, I started my career at the Supreme Court of New Jersey as a law clerk to Justice Wallace. Being a Supreme Court clerk was an invaluable experience, and I gained a phenomenal mentor in Justice Wallace. Never could I have imagined that one day I would be nominated to sit in the same exact seat that he once occupied. I've spent my entire legal career in New Jersey, in both private practice at Montgomery McCracken, Walker and Rhodes, and in government service as an assistant United States attorney with the U.S. Attorney's Office. It is extremely humbling to be nominated, and I am beyond excited and enthusiastic at the opportunity to continue the proud tradition of the Supreme Court's commitment to justice, equality, and fairness. I've spent the majority of my career in public service, and I look forward to returning to the important work of serving the people of the state of New Jersey. As a longtime resident of both North and South Jersey, I was driven to public service as a federal prosecutor because of my commitment to enforcing the law and ensuring the safety of the people of New Jersey. As a federal prosecutor, whether I was handling drug trafficking cases, wire fraud matters, or national security investigations, my goal was always to see that justice be done. And although I was tasked with enforcing the law as a prosecutor, I also understood the importance of ensuring that individuals who have served time in prison should also have the opportunity and the ability to succeed in life after prison. That is why I was extremely proud to be part of the creation of the Trenton Reentry Court in the District of New Jersey, as the governor mentioned. The reentry courts in Trenton, Newark, and Camden consisted of judges, probation officers, federal public defenders, and assistant United States attorneys, all dedicated to the common goal of ensuring that individuals who were recently released from federal prison had jobs, housing, and in some cases, coats to keep their children warm during the winter. The reentry court, to me, exemplified the mission of the Department of Justice, coming full circle, and I am extremely proud to say that I played a role in that program in Trenton. I didn't always know that I wanted to be a lawyer. I had thought about it, but I wasn't completely sure I wanted to pursue that path until I attended the Summer Institute for Pre-Legal Studies at Seton Hall Law School during the summer before my junior year in college. The pre-legal program was designed to be a simulation of the first year in law school and was open to students in the Educational Opportunity Fund program, a program started many years ago through a bill sponsored by then Assemblyman Tom Kean. I was lucky enough to be one of those EOF students. During the program, I had the opportunity to take courses in property law, legal research and writing. I even had the opportunity, as a college student, to draft an appellate brief and present an oral argument before sitting judges. At the conclusion of that program, I was sold. I loved reading the law, I loved writing about the law, I loved talking about the law. So I will forever be grateful to the pre-legal program for setting me on the path that has led me to where I am today. My parents always impressed upon me the importance of education, and without a doubt, every school I have attended in my life has played an important role in who I am today. From my time at St. Paul the Apostle Elementary School in Irvington, to high school at Union Catholic Regional High School in Scotch Plains, to Rutgers University in New Brunswick, to Rutgers Law School in Camden. From north to south, I have been very fortunate to have received a phenomenal education here in New Jersey every step of the way. I would like to thank my family who is here with me today, my husband Rob and my two boys, Robbie and Mark, my sister, my brother and his family, and last but certainly not least, my parents, Claire and Joseph. Many years ago, my parents came to the United States from Haiti with not much more than the clothes on their backs and the American dream in their hearts. I think they have achieved that dream beyond measure, because my life is certainly not representative of the traditional trajectory of someone who would one day be nominated to sit on the Supreme Court of New Jersey. I was the first person in my family to go to law school. My father was a New York City cab driver, and my mother worked at St. Vincent's in patient transport. I am a first-generation American-born citizen, and English was not my first language. I spent my early childhood living in a cramped two-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn with 7 family members. My family then moved to Irvington into our own beautiful home, and we have been in New Jersey ever since. Standing here today, I know that I have truly lived and continue to live the American dream that my parents came to this country in search of. Thank you once again, Governor Murphy, for this honor, and I am so blessed and grateful for the opportunity to serve the people of the state of New Jersey. Thank you.
Wow, not much more we can say to that. Sheila, would you mind coming up we'll do one shot without our masks and put Fabiana in her rightful place in the middle. Thank you all so much for being with us this morning for this historic announcement, especially Fabiana, to your parents, to your husband and kids, to your brothers and sisters and niece. Justice Wallace, it's a particular honor to have you with us today. And to our team, as I mentioned, Matt, thank you for your leadership, and the rest of the squad, including the First Lady who's here. We'd love to do one picture if we could, and God bless you all, and thank you.